What's up, YouTube? Alright, this is gonna be another video. This is gonna be my McDonald's experience. Excuse me. Alright, so I had quit my job at CDS at Costco back in 2017. So 14 months later, I was looking for a job for a while, and then 14 months later, I went to McDonald's and got a job there right off the bat. So the manager handled that job like a pro. My hiring manager got the job like this. I came home, my mom screamed in my left ear, "He got a job." I said, "Got a job?" And she said, "He got a job," and she had to scream it right in my left ear. You worry? It's my ear. Alright, so I didn't know what to expect from this job, but I have just quit my job yesterday. And there are some similarities between this and the Costco job, except which job do I like better? People would think that I would say CDS, but no, actually I like McDonald's better because the crew was much more supportive of my disability. And there is an offer. There is an offer for me to come back to McDonald's, which I could. Would I go back? Maybe. It's not a promise because there's something else I want to try with my life. I want to improve my work skills. Now, I'm going to give you my basic shift too because my mom marked them down on their calendar. I had orientation. It was going to be orientation at 4:30 on September 27th on Thursday, but it got delayed to a week later. So, if you're wondering, the woman who ran orientation's husband had to get surgery, I think. And then the week later, I was working Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. My shift was pretty scattered because I had Wednesday and Sunday off. I worked from 5 to 7. Then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I worked from. On Monday, I worked from 2 to 5. Tuesday, I worked 1 to 5 p.m. Then I worked like 2 to 5 on Wednesday. And then I got Thursday and Friday off. Worked Saturday, 8 to 1. 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then 8 to 1 again. And then I was working like 2 to 5 on Monday, and Tuesday was 12 to 3, then it was 11 to 2 on Wednesday. Then I got Thursday and Friday off again, then it was like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., then it was like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on that one day, and then it was like 10 to 1. Then they changed my shift every from on the shift. So then I got Mondays and Tuesdays off. Then I would work 11 to 3 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then some days I would get off because I took the day off, and then they would write it off on the calendar every day. Now, something I need to tell you about that was I was working 15 hours a week, making $11.50 an hour first, and then I was making 12, and then it was 13.50. Now I think it's 13.69 is as much as I'm getting paid. It's a pretty good payday. This they also cut less out of your paycheck over here than they did over at the CDS job, and this job had its pros and cons as well. At first, I was a food prep, so I was rolling burritos, I was making parfaits, making salads, but then I think we had a recall on salads and parfaits. And then I would prep cheese, dehydrated onions. I would poke holes in what do you call them, pickles and stuff, and drain them. And then I would also wash dishes for my first week there. And Elisa, one of my managers, just gonna mention first names, not last names at all, would say that I was a great worker. She said I was doing a great job. And something I'd like to show you to remind me of McDonald's, and even though I love it, I always get the coffee over at Safeway. And it's already grinded up, so you don't have to grind it up yourself. You can just put it in your coffee maker. Yeah. And I would get free coffee every day I worked, which was amazing. Excuse me. And there's some good points I want to share with you in a few minutes, and maybe I'll do some video responses to people who have worked at McDonald's in the past. Like people who don't work at McDonald's think it's this or it's that, and they've never even worked there, like saying it's probably going to be the worst job in the world. Okay, it's not the worst job in the world for some people. For some people don't like working there, but I'm going to tell you what I basically did. Oh, I gotta get rid of this. I gotta go to my Gmail. My job coach, since I have a disability, had to email me my task list. So I had to go over my task list, and it wasn't even that bad. So this is basically what I did. I did towel buckets. So basically, towel buckets are when you go over to a sink, a hose, and I would throw there would be a brown bucket where I would throw the bleach in, and then put the hose in there and start spraying the water, and then over and the bleach would dissolve and turn into little suds, and then I would take the sanitizer and throw it and open up the sanitizer and drop the sanitizer in the it was sanitizer powder, and the bleach pods were like little bleach things. You throw them in, and then you just spray the water and it dissolves it and just breaks it up. And then I would put the other ones. The sanitizer would be in white buckets, so it'd be clean for clean towels instead dirty where the bleach takes it over. And then, excuse me. And then there was like people throwing. There were people like taking the towels, and then you have to put them in there and date them and put the little thing in there, a little strip to have it come out purple. And then I would fold the date sticker and then put it on there, fold the little crease to bunny ear it, so you wouldn't have to spend time and time again peeling the stickers off. It would be easier to take it when it's folded on the top. And and then you would have to redo those towel buckets every like 2 hours or something. I would make them be done by 2 or 3:15, so they'd be done in an hour and 15 minutes after had to leave. Then I would also stack bread trays, like take bread trays that were empty and stack them up. Break down boxes, like take boxes, break them down, throw them in the recycle. Do a lot check, like walk outside with a broom and sweep up trash. Like one time I found like 40 or 50 cigarettes out there. I started doing that. I would take out the garbage, and one time I took out 31 trash bags in 3 hours. And then clean bathrooms. Okay, this part is really bad. So I was in the bathroom cleaning the wall, and then someone had smeared shit all over the wall. Oh, it almost made me puke. Yeah. And then I think I said the bathroom smelled like shit, and then my friend Scott came in and said that someone must have sprayed Axe all over, and then he gave me the restroom odor neutralizer to clean the walls and everything. Spray it, and then and then I would have to sweep the floor. Also, like go out into the lobby, sweep the floor, sweep the kitchen floor. I would also wash dishes and mop the floor. Alright, so I want to tell you what was awesome about that job. So the first pro is getting a paycheck, and getting a pretty decent paycheck to boot. Well, I would say for reference, getting a paycheck that was amazing. It was awesome. They would pay really good. Um, so that's the first thing, is you actually get your own money from working there. And then the second, and at 1369 is honestly not even that bad of a job. And then the second pro was um getting a free meal every now and then, or getting 50% off your meal, because later they would give you free small meals, like a free small McChicken meal, a free 4-piece nugget, a free cup of coffee, which was amazing. And um sometimes I would get a free soda too, a free small one, but I mostly drink water instead. Like one of my favorite managers of all time, DeAndre, that's her name. I'm not gonna mention last names, and she's a great manager. She was amazing. She was the one who helped me put in my 2 weeks notice, but she left just before I did because I decided it was time for me to go. Okay, the re DeAndre actually was the one who told me that our coffee was for free because I ordered an egg McMuffin value meal and asked for coffee instead of soda or water. And she said the coffee was for free. Coffee is my second favorite drink. Water is my favorite. Coffee, then like Canada Dry Ginger Ale, peace tea, but I don't drink those anymore. I drink almond milk, you know. So what she helped me out with was showed me how to make coffee. So she showed me that, like, I would put like 5 creams in and then put the coffee in and then drink it. And sometimes I would go get cold water and put that in there, or put the ice in there and cool it down. And I've been doing that at restaurants since I was a kid. My mom showed me or taught me that idea when I was younger, to cool the coffee down, make it more drinkable rather than piping hot. Then then what else did we do? Yeah, getting a free getting free meals was kind of cool. Getting 50% off. One time, one of my coworkers who picks me up and drops me off over at work sometimes, he would give me mostly. He one time bought me a double quarter pounder with cheese on my 19th. No, not my 19th. What am I thinking? My 27th birthday, and that was awesome. And then the year later, I'm like, it's my birthday, and then I was gonna order hotcakes with sausage, but then a customer did that for me. That was amazing. All right, on to the cons about this video. The cons are you could slip and fall. Yes, I managed to have bad balance, and I had slip resistant shoes, and I still slipped and fell. And then one time I slipped and fell out in the lobby, and slipped and fell right behind one of my maintenance guys. And he said, "I thought you were gonna try to jump me," because I slipped and fell and hit both my knees. And I'd like to mention this. There's slipping and falling, getting burned. One time I accidentally burned my hand by reaching into a bucket, into one of those towel buckets when I didn't do it. I just burnt my hand. Sometimes people misusing the bathroom, smearing shit all over it, and then my manager said we had to put a lock on the door, a code, because people would destroy our sinks and stuff. We had to replace everything. And then the fourth, another con about working there is getting yelled at by customers. Like one time I asked a customer a question, and he said, "No, we're eating lunch, go home." And I said, "Did you hear what he said?" And he said, "Yeah." And he said, "We're eating lunch, go home." And he said, "What a dick." And another con is sometimes when you're taking out a heavy trash bag and the trash bag starts to rip, because sometimes they were very fragile. And taking out 31 trash bags in 3 hours is a lot. One time I took out 27, then I took out 31. One guy wanted me to take out 33. That's stretching it. Now, if I have to say something about another pro about that job, another pros and cons would be there. Another con, getting hurt. Like I would sometimes get a sore back or a sore neck working, and then I would also hurt my feet there, like I did at Costco, but not as bad because I didn't work as much. I mostly worked 3 hours, and then my boss upped my shift to having Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off, and then working 4 hours a day. And so I worked 16 hours for 2 weeks. Then that ended because the coronavirus smackdown came. And then I only worked 3 days a week. I only worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off. And then recently, I would only work 9 hours a week. So then my boss actually upped my hours to working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 12 hours. So it was 4, 8, 12. And that could be like 24 to even more hours in that week with 2 weeks. Sometimes because they would sometimes add an extra shift. And something else I would do is make Happy Meal boxes, like just press them up and put the toy in there, do it, stack them, and then stack them over there. Give them to the managers so they would have enough, and then they would have all sorts of toys. Back then McDonald's used to serve a lot of toys back then, but now they just do what they had, like Star Wars, Scooby Doo, little plushies. That my manager gave me a little plushie not too long ago. My favorite color is orange, and this is an orange fox named Slick. We were selling like little plushies, Star Wars, princesses, and etc. Excuse me. McDonald's used to have all sorts of toys back when I was a kid. You order a kids meal, you get toys. McDonald's in the Happy Meal boxes. And like they had playhouses, but I think they tore those down. The McDonald's I worked at got remodeled. Yeah. Before I even started to work there. Um I also have something to show you, or something to read off. Like, this was amazing because my favorite manager gave me a thank you card and says like, thank you so much, and said, thank you, Sam. My general manager at the time, who took over from my manager Joe, then said, keep up the awesome work. Shane, hey, you're awesome. Love, Talia. Norma, another girl, signed it and said, you're so awesome, dude. Dominica, that, and then one said, yeah, Shane was another manager, and I think Talia became a manager, and said, keep up the great work and positive attitude. I can't read the signature. One said, thank you, you're a great member of the McDonald's family, Bree. And it said, keep up the awesome work, Jennifer. Thank you for keeping such a positive attitude in such stressful times. Not many people can do it. It takes a special kind of person to do it, Eric. Then my favorite manager said, thank you for all that you do. Keep up the great work, Texas. Because I came up behind her one time. I had 4 movies in my hand for her, and I said, here, and she said, oh god, you scared me. And I handed her the movies, and then she said, thank you, I feel like I should get you something. And I smiled at her because she was such a sweetheart. And then actually I saw her the other day, and I gave her a hug. I loved her like a sister. She was such a sweetheart to me. She handed me like, she gave me like a lot of candy, like gummy octopuses and some candy, and then she gave me a movie I already had, but I kept it because came from her, Aquaman. Then I handed her something else when she gave me the when I gave her the Charm series. Wrote out what I got. Then she gave me something. I wrote on my list what I wanted. So I wrote down He-Man, Lionheart, which is a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, and then I wrote out and the Lionheart's great, the He-Man's great. Top Gun. That's what else she got me. And I handed her Silent Hill Revolution 2, and I went, hey Texas, and she went, yeah, ooh, gimme, gimme, gimme. And then she's like, look what he got me when she showed him the Charm series I got her on DVD about the witches. This says, ginormous thanks to a big-hearted you. This one says, thank you for always doing your best, Jennifer. And my general manager said, thank you for all of your hard work and dedication, Sam. Thank you for always having something fun to talk about. Keep my days interesting, Alyssa. Thank you. And it says, thank you for putting a smile on everyone's face every day, Jade. Thank you for all the great jokes, Damien. Thank you for all your awesome. Thank you for being awesome and for all the puns, Bethany. Thank you for being so kind and always fun to talk to. You're really funny. Hope your birthday is filled with so much joy, Tisha, who's actually the sister of my favorite manager back then. Thank you so much for being an excellent worker, and also thank you for the Charm Series, Texas. To be honest, my friend Crystal, who used to work with me, told me that if I don't work there, it would be quiet. Yeah, and one of my other managers actually told me the same thing. She told me that the store, that McDonald's is gonna quiet down because I won't be there anymore to be in my positive mood. Because sometimes I was there in a positive attitude all the time and always had that immense amount of energy. I was overly energetic, and Elisa said she loved my positive attitude. Must mention this part. I was at work one time. Let me think. So one time when I was working there, I was always in a good mood, always having good food, good coffee, and I always loved having the coffee there, and I always loved being part of the McDonald's crew. To be honest, I'm gonna miss it. I really will miss it more than I missed CDS at one point, because one time, this is kind of crazy, because when I left that Costco job, I was only gone for a week and it already felt like I was gone for a year. But I quit that job. I quit that job a long time ago. I quit that job so long ago. I quit that job like I quit that job almost 4 years ago next month. Sheesh. Sheesh. Almost 4 years. Well, I did like this McDonald's job a lot more, even though I was only there for 2.5 years. I was there a little bit. I was there for almost a little over 2.5 years. I was at Costco for 3 years and 3 months, but I did love this job so much more. I had a much more supportive crew, much cooler people. I mean, true, I did cry twice there because a member yelled at me, or a customer. Okay, now I have to talk about this part. This part's kind of crazy. So I was gonna tell you, we had a great crew. We had great managers. One of them I want to talk about is called Sam. She was like amazing. She inspired me to work harder, and so did Shane. He was awesome too. I like to give the managers presents, like to Sam. I gave an Empire State Building keychain and the World's Best Boss Cup, and I gave Shane a the Avengers keychain. It said the Avengers, and then I handed that to him, and I handed him the World's Best Boss Cup. And it's kind of funny because he started holding it up like this and showing it off and drinking from it. It was so funny. I'm like, what? And he's holding it up so everyone could read it. It was so funny. Excuse me. And then and my first manager, Joe, I gave him a Seahawks keychain and a beer bottle opener LA Dodgers keychain. I'm like, here, and he said, thanks, bro. I really appreciate it. They always loved the presents I gave them. And then later, I was buying Empire State Building keychains and Statue of Liberty keychains to give out at the last minute, so I could give them all out to all the managers before I left the job, because I thought it might be the right thing to do because I was leaving. I gave one of my managers, Jerry, a tiger keychain a few years ago because he really likes tigers. DeAndre, I gave 4 horror movies to. And then she bought me the movie called Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. She said she was going to buy me something, but she said, you have everything. And then she bought me Cyborg. I'm going to be honest. My friend Jared recommended that movie to me when he used to work with me. or on Facebook. He used to be a coworker of mine. He got me into Jean-Claude Van Damme. I didn't like the acting so much in that movie. I thought it was only Jean-Claude Van Damme was really the only good part of that movie because the acting was pretty sloppy. Maybe it was the script writing. I don't know. And then DeAndre bought me this. Okay, I have a huge phobia of snakes, but this is a reference to one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Cobra Kai. It was freaking awesome. It was a freaking awesome blanket. So many people thought it was awesome. My fiance is a little scared of snakes too, but I thought that I have a phobia of snakes too, but I thought it was awesome. And DeAndre helped me write out my 2 weeks notice before I quit. I wrote. She helped me write it out, and before I quit, she left. She was awesome too. Texas was a sweetheart. She she was always nice to me. She might. I think she was a little bit hard on other people, but when she heard me call her my favorite manager, she was like, "Oh." She thought it was so sweet, you know. And then there was Crystal, one of my coworkers, not one of my managers, but she was awesome. And then there was Kevin. The crew, the coworkers were awesome. I just thought it was time to leave because I could do more than what they gave me. I know I can because if I could work as a breaker over at Costco, I can do more than wash dishes because that's all I was used for my last couple weeks. And then the reason for leave is we were going through way too much change. Like so many managers were leaving. The general manager Sam left. Shane was gone for a little bit. Shane left, I think. I'm not sure if he's coming back or whatnot. And then a manager named Mariah left. DeAndre's leaving. I decided we were going through too much change and my head was starting to spin out of control. And then I finally decided it was time for me to leave. So, basically, that's my McDonald's story. Would I go back? Maybe. But would I go back? Maybe. Would I? Would I really want to? I'm not sure. I mean, I can do more than what they gave me, and if they made me a custodian again, I would not agree to that. Because what I really wanted to do was one time I was frying French fries, and that was a lot of fun. There's another con about working there is going home smelling like grease, or your shirt could get the fumes of the French fries, so you could smell like French fries. I bet before she died, if my dog Lady was smelled, that she would have been smelling my shirt out. Yeah, or I would go home smelling like bleach. Like you could either go home smelling like grease if you work at the deep fat fryer, or if you don't work with the food that, or if you work with the food that much, or like me, a custodian, you go home with your hands smelling like bleach. Yeah, my mom could smell bleach on my skin, so I had to use her hand sanitizer to get the bleach smell off my hands. And I did ruin like a few pairs of shoes there. One was starting to peel, and then I ordered one. Then I ordered another one. I think I went through 4 pairs of shoes there. The first one's ruined within a few months, and then the second pair ruined. The second pair got ruined, and then I think the third. I think I went through 4 pairs of shoes there that all ripped. I think it was 4. Let me see. Yeah, and I ruined 2 pairs of pants there, if you believe it or not. And it was so funny because I was over at work. One pair got ruined because I accidentally dumped bleach all over them, and then all right, here they are. Okay, I'm clicking on the wrong shoes here. I don't know why. Well, I sometimes would buy shoes just to be able to what's the word I'm looking for here? Just to work. And I was working with them. I yeah, I ordered I bought these shoes 3 times. I bought the last one's March 13th, 2020, I think, or maybe even 4 times now. I had to buy them like 4 times, and they're supposed to be memory foam, slip resistant, oil resistant, non-marketing, but they would still rip. So I think I bought like 3 of these, and they're out of stock right now, but they're gonna get back in stock, and they're actually, because I know I had to order at least 4 of those because they would keep on ripping. Like the bottom was coming off, and my manager, my friend Steven said, "Oh, so they're talking to you?" The shoes, because they were feeling at the bottom, so he said they're talking. They're talking to you. That's a funny reference, and I want to talk about something. We did have a lot of maintenance guys. I wasn't maintenance. I was a custodian, but we had like a guy named Brody who left. You can get canned from um talking too much is it? No, for you can get canned from calling out too many times. Like Brody, Oscar did the same. Scott was the one who didn't talk too much, but he left. And then there was Mike, who became our maintenance guy, and then there was Mark, who was the side guy, and he got canned because he was mouthing off to people. He called one of my friends Kim a bitch, and then I think she went off crying, and then I called Mark a fuck stick after what I heard he said about her, and she said he is. And then there was a guy named Jared who's gonna be our maintenance guy after Mike, and he got demoted. He was the one who got me into Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then he left because he was mistreated. And then there was Andrew, who left because he let me think. So there's Brody, Scott, no Brody, Oscar, Scott, Mike, Mark. Mark was one who. Then there was Jared, who was my favorite maintenance guy for a while. Then there was the other guy. Then there was the other guy after Jared, Andrew. He told me about the McGangbang, but I forgot he told me about it. And then we had another maintenance guy who left after a week, and then one other maintenance guy who was there for 2 weeks. And he said the McGangbang, and then I pulled it up, and then I made it, and he looked at it, and I ate it. It's like bun, McDouble, bun, McChicken, bun, McDouble, bun. It's huge and delicious. But really, don't eat all the food that you're gonna get there because it's a lot. And then I would usually order the breakfast muffins without bread. And then there was what's his name? There's another maintenance guy who was there for a while. His name was Josh. And this one personally I knew before even working there because he used to work with my sister, and I knew him since I was in high school. I recognized him, and then he mentioned my sister's name, and I said, "Oh yeah," and then I recognized him, and then he and I were talking for a while, and then he started working there, and we still had the same managers there, and then I just decided to quit because there was too much change, and I wanted to move up in the world. And for my last meal there yesterday, they gave it to me for free. One of the managers, Carmen. I gave presents to all the managers before everything, and then I looked at the gap. This was my expression to my breakfast yesterday. I thought it was so good, and there's me holding the sausage. Like, when I would get the sausage muffins, I would press the grease out of the sausage. Yeah. So what I did was for my last meal request, I had a big breakfast with hot cakes. I got 3 pancakes. I also ordered a side of bacon, so I got 2 strips of bacon, egg, sausage. Asked for a sausage. I asked for a muffin, instead of the biscuit because I think the biscuits are too dry. And then I got a hash brown with ketchup on it. So right here in my hotcakes, pancakes with delicious hotcake syrup on them. That's what they call them there. And then I was just trying to goof off, like giving my facial expressions, and then smiling after my breakfast was so good. And then I had a cup of coffee with that, and you know, coffee there was really good. It was really delicious. Since I'm not a coworker there, I won't get it for free anymore. Bummer, but sometimes the medium cup of coffee was like $1.09, which is 109, which is a good price. That's all I have to say for this video. Would I recommend working at McDonald's? Definitely. It was an amazing experience for me. And you're getting customer service experience, so I just decided to leave because I wanted to move up in the world and I need a little rest break from that. And I don't have to wash dishes at McDonald's anymore, clean walls, clean. Yeah. I'm not a custodian anymore, but stay up to date and subscribe. The reason why I left is because I think it was getting too much after all managers leaving. It was just like woof all over. But the managers were awesome. They were they were awesome to me, and that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you all for watching. Stay up to date and subscribe. If I can find more stuff about McDonald's, I will be honest to make another video because I used to clean tables and chairs too. I would love to be a busboy, and my manager actually said I'd be a good busboy because I clean tables and chairs over at McDonald's for over 2 years, so why not? Alright, I also clean bathroom mirrors, toilets, toilet seats. Alright, peace.